women in leadership and women in business is something that we're seeing a lot, and that's in a great, demand on all the sides. And we're having these conferences, we're having women networks, and I think every large organization, every mid-sized organization is having women empowerment and women development programs. And we have already come some way. Nowadays, in 2020, we have about 1/3 of all businesses are owned by a woman, and they, create job opportunities, develop and sell great products, and attract investments. But what we see that these companies are usually a lot smaller than those of our male counterparts, and they attract just around 7% of, for example, venture capital investment. So there's still a way to develop women entrepreneurship, women business. And if you look at the organization, the large corporate side, then we also can see that we have moved a long way. In year 2020, about 22% of all board seats are taken by a woman, up from about 12.5 in 2010 and around 15 in 2015. But one thing that strikes, if you're really talking about not only, the numbers of women on boards, but actually the quality of the engagement. And if we look at, the balance that we see in organizational teams, and especially in boards, it's about only 5 to 6% of organizations that have truly balanced boards. And what do I mean by balanced boards? In many organizations, in many parts of the world, bringing women into leadership is part of organizational or national programs. So there is a regulation to be having more women on board. So many organizations, create some positions, chief of whatever diversity, just to be bringing women on board. And women are there, so they're taking those board places, but they are actually not really participating in the decision making and in the strategic development of the organizations. And this is something where I see this added value. And if we look at the the quality of the balanced board, we see that there's great potential. And to me, balanced teams and balanced boards is more than just having equal representation of each gender, but it's more about the energies and the synergies that we are bringing. And women empowerment is good, but it's the synergy that's working together. When we, on one hand side, we are having these men-like qualities like assertiveness, decisiveness, ambition, competitiveness, and they are enhanced on the other hand side with women-like qualities of empathetic and supportive influences and collaborative cultures. Now, I'm not saying that assertiveness comes only from men and sympathetic collaborative culture influences coming only from women, but this is how we usually consciously and subconsciously attributed that to our gender roles. So for me, as a team coach, I think that would be my paradise if we were having it wouldn't really matter whether we're having a woman, a CEO, or a man, but this team is having, decisiveness, assertiveness, ambition on the one hand side, and collaborative cultures on the other hand side, and would be just very harmonic, productive, and high performing. I think that would be, for a team coach, that would be a paradise, right? So this is to the organizational structures. Now, another challenge that I'm addressing today and that I see as very important is the world is changing, right? So we are living in the world of rapid exponential innovation, and we are having all those new technologies that double every whatever number of months, and we somehow have to find ways not only to go along with them, but to ride that wave of innovation, right? So we are talking about those technologies of robots and drones and artificial intelligence and more connectivity. And I think in a couple of years, we will be having even more of those, maybe some microsatellites that will be traveling around us and collecting even more data. And this all information that we are having there, we need to find new ways of how to deal with this information, how to prioritize, how to structure, how to deliver, how to make sense of that. It comes with new skills, how we want, this is critical thinking, this is prioritization, this is creativity, imagination, complex problem solving. And also the way how we communicate, it has been changing. Laura was talking about our exposure, how we expose ourselves, and these invisible audiences. Even like in past times, we were talking to people and we knew who is listening to us, and today it's a lot about how we are perceived out there, even if you do not have always a full understanding and full control of who our audiences are. And all these changes obviously call for different ways to be doing businesses, to thrive in the business world. So I'm currently involved in this amazing program that is called XFAB Women. FAB stands for fabulous, but it also stands for Future Advisory Board, where we are addressing those two challenges at the same time. So on the one hand side, we are giving women the skills and the knowledge and the network to become future fit and future ready. And on the other hand side, we are giving them this knowledge of innovation that they can bring the ability for organizations to thrive in the present and in the future of this world. So if anyone is interested to find out more about the program, you're very welcome to contact me on LinkedIn or on email, or otherwise find me. It's nowadays it's very easy, and I would love to share. And what I would like to share a little bit, like small things that we will be addressing in that program, and I think that are very important in this world of constant innovation. So one of the things that we are addressing there is foster digital mindset. And when we are talking about digital mindset, we are obviously not talking only about how we use technology or how we go online, or how we do things. It's just the way how technology changed our attitudes and behaviors and enable peoples and organizations to integrate technology in our daily lives and to create sustainable business models. The other aspect that we are talking about, this innovative women development program, is exponential dynamic, right? So we will be talking about what does it take for organizations to tap into the full potential of digital opportunities, and what are some organizations like Google, Amazon, Airbnb, and some of the others are doing differently, so that they utilize their adaptability and their flexibility to achieve the levels of business development and growth that are just of a different order of magnitude than anything in their industries or around their peers. It is tenfold or hundredfold. So how do they do that? What do they do differently? And another aspect that I would like to highlight is this performance management, right? So since the pandemic, we have seen that we do not have to limit ourselves to our office, and we do not have to limit ourselves to the talent that we can reach, that can reach our office within 1 hour commute, but we can hire globally, we can engage people globally, and it brings different aspects, because also people who are engaged, they engage in a different level. So it's more about connecting to purpose. It's more about finding your optimal way to engage with people. So this is something that we will be dealing in that program. And something else that I would like to talk with you about today is how women and this feminine contribution to better leadership and to better organizational cultures can create more opportunities. And with that, I would like to maybe motivate more men to include women in their leadership programs, and to motivate women to step to the next step of their, business or entrepreneurial success, or in the organizations, right? So women are usually, the style of leadership that women are doing is usually more transformational, right? So women lead through inspiration and finding purpose, and they are better than men in that, who are more transactional and more based on here's the task and here's how you complete the task, and this is more control and command, and it just has been shown that transformational leadership style that comes more naturally to women. I'm not saying that men cannot do that, but it seems to be coming more naturally to women because women just spend more time trying to win over people's souls and hearts and convince them of the purpose behind whatever they do. And in this way, they not only change, like they are not seeking to force change behaviors, but they change beliefs and attitudes. And this brings to better performance and better leadership, success in leadership. Women also put themselves more back, so they blend more with the team rather than men who used to be, like especially in past times when it was a lot more about the corner office or a better title. Now it's not anything about it, and you can never achieve something great if your focus is on you. And again, this comes more naturally to women, and when these influences are coming are brought to the organization, to leadership teams, then you can utilize and engage more the team. And again, something very dear to my heart as a team development coach. Women create better emotional connection, and this might come as a comparative advantage in this world of different technologies and artificial intelligence that is taking a lot of tasks, of hard tasks that were taken by leaders in the past, like a lot on reporting and a lot of administration and a lot of task distribution and collecting. They are gaining less and less attention, and instead things like like when we work among people and with people, things like validation, appreciation, empathy, they can only be expressed from human to human. And again, women have a comparative advantage of that, obviously, regarding artificial intelligences, but they are more natural in that than men are. And the last aspect that I would like to highlight is the self-awareness. And Laura was also talking about self-awareness, that self-awareness is something that any leader, any successful business entrepreneur would need. And this aspect, I would like to put self-awareness as opposite to self-confidence and overconfidence that comes more naturally to men, right? A lot of women say, and a lot of women do, like personal development program and personal development studies because they want to gain more self-confidence, because they want to be more assertive, more confident, more secure in what they're doing. But what we are seeing in leadership, that many women have already reached that stage and they are very confident in themselves, but it's a different type of confidence when you are self-aware. So you know your strengths, and I'm also a great fan of working with strengths because it's just so motivational. So Laura, great regards. But it's also very important to know own limitations, right? So being more realistic and being more mindful of what can I do and where I, may engage someone to do it better than I do, engage the team or learn something or prepare or even over prepare, right? So that creates better possibilities and better ways to lead, to create business and to become successful, all right? So that's to that part. And I hope I have given you some insights of why it's very much worth it to going for leadership and to going for the next step in developing your business. And just to close up, in the past 2 years, we have seen that all these, more soft qualities, where women especially are good at, right? So it's about the pandemic has shown us how important the aspects of mental health and work-life balance and the danger of burnout are so important to be addressed. And companies that have balanced teams and women in their leadership teams who were able to bring more emotional support and to distribute work more evenly and to combine to find ways to address work and life challenges better, have made better results and were more successful coming through the pandemic.